What's good? This is Trey, and the topic of this video is how to become self-confident with women. All right. Reason I'm making this video is because at some point I would say I was on the complete opposite side of the spectrum in regards to confidence when it comes to women. Right? I used to be very nervous and timid and shy, introverted when it came to interacting with women. That's just what it was. A lot of that was throughout middle school and high school. Like, I was cool with guys and stuff, but whenever women would come around, I would get quiet, I would get nervous, I get timid, start doubting myself, right? And I just wouldn't be expressive, and therefore women couldn't see my personality or whatever. And so, they kind of just, okay, he's kind of weird or whatever, and they would just move on, right? But I worked on that. I said, okay, not a bad looking guy. I actually have a lot of things in my favor. I have some height. I have a good physique. I dress nice or whatever. So but I need to work on my confidence, right? Like, that's actually some good advice you'll hear. Like, people will tell you work on, you need to be confident, right? That's one of the things that women find attractive, and that's true. It's actually very true, right? So you want to work on your confidence, and then there's like the situational based confidence, right? So some guys are confident in certain situations, but then you put them around a woman and they start acting weird, right? They start acting weak, start acting, turning into nice guys and putting the girl on a pedestal and, filtering their communication, and you know what I mean? They just turn into like a weirdo, right? So how do you become self-confident with women? Well, here's how I did it. One of the main things that I worked on was I worked on exposing myself or putting myself in front of women more consistently, right? Because in middle school and high school, because I wasn't confident with women and I was shy, and when I would interact with them, it would always be awkward or whatever, I would actually start avoiding them, right? So instead of like getting experience and getting references of interacting with women, I was not getting any, actually. I was avoiding it and staying away from it as much as I could. So once I realized, okay, now I need to work on my confidence with women, like I'm lacking in that area, I say, let me go out and start like interacting with women on a consistent basis, right? So I would literally go out to the mall, to the store, the grocery store, to the apartment store, wherever the hell I could go, and I would talk to women, right? I would go up to women, I would try out different things. I go to women and say, hey, I thought you were beautiful, right? I would try that out. I would sometimes just go and say, hey, how you doing? Wanted to say hi. Just go out, sometimes ask for the directions, sometimes I go ask for the time, whatever. I needed to get comfortable interacting with women, right? Because confidence, a lot of confidence is being comfortable, right? Comfortable with the activity at play, right? Whatever is going on. So like, if you're interacting with women, you need to be comfortable interacting with women in order to feel confident, right? If you're not comfortable, you're not going to be confident. So I needed to do it over and over again, right? So you have to like find a way to consistently interact with women. Some good advice also, is to get a job where you have to deal with women a lot, right? So like a waiter, a server, bartender, working at a female clothing store, any job where you have to interact with women a lot on a consistent basis, like a daily basis. So you don't want to just be doing it like once a week or once a month or whatever. It has to be consistent, right? Because you need to build up that whatever you want to call it, muscle memory, the references, the experiences. You know what I mean? You have to basically tell your brain, tell your mind that, hey, there is no threat here, right? There is no reason for you to be uncomfortable around women. They cannot hurt you, right? And if they can hurt you, and what I mean by that is like, if a woman can hurt you emotionally, like you need to work on your what we'd call your inner game, right? Your self-esteem, your self-worth. A woman shouldn't be able to bring down your vibe and bring down your emotions just by saying a few words to you, right? If that's the case, what you have done is you have basically put her put her opinion higher than your own, right? So let's say you think, oh, let's say you're feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm cool. I'm a cool guy, whatever. And the woman says, oh, you're actually whack, right? And if you actually start to feel whack, that means you value her judgment or her opinion over yours, right? And that's an incorrect frame, especially if that woman is not, she is not like your woman or your mother, or so, you know what I mean? It's not somebody who you should care about their opinion. Like, you shouldn't care about someone's opinion unless they have demonstrated that they have your best interest in mind, right? Like, so, my mom's opinion, I care about her opinion because I know she has my best interest in mind. But if I approach a girl and she says, oh, sorry, I'm not interested, or don't like you, or whatever, I can move on with my day and still be, and still maintain whatever vibe or frame I had, prior to approaching her, because I know that her judgment should not or does not change my judgment of myself, or how I feel about myself, or how I see myself, right? Because that's just one random woman. I don't know how she's basing her judgment, or why she's saying what she's saying, right? I don't know her, right? So for me to like take on her opinion or her judgment and make it basically determine how I feel about myself, that would actually be extremely foolish, and it would be just a sad thing to do, so. But it's something you have to work on, right? Because obviously before, I used to value girls' opinions very highly and stuff, and that's why I was afraid to interact with them, and that's why I was shy around them. But once I started exposing myself to them and talking to them more often, you basically realize, yo, these are just like human beings that have their own problems, have their own issues. A lot of times they say things and they don't even know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? So you just start to see the reality of it, and you're like, yo, why would I seek validation from this person, or why would I make their judgment be greater than mine, when a lot of times they don't even like, they're not really, it's not like they're really like killing it in life, or, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of times they have a lot of problems, a lot of things they're struggling with, they're insecure about shit, whatever. And it's like, why would I value that person's opinion over mine? It makes no sense, right? So you by exposing yourself, you basically cut through the illusion of having women on a pedestal, right? You cut through that illusion, because there's no reason to have a woman on a pedestal unless she is your woman and you put her on a pedestal to bring her up to your pedestal, right? Like, that's different. It's like you meet a woman and you raise her up, right? Through interacting with her and your leadership and your support and stuff. That's different. But a random woman that you just met, or a random woman, at school or in your workplace or whatever, you shouldn't have them on a pedestal, right? You just shouldn't, okay? So the confidence comes from exposing yourself to women over and over again. You get desensitized to their beauty. Like, their beauty is what really or at least what you really messed with me before, right? Like, if the girl is ugly, I wouldn't care as much about her validation or her opinion, right? But the more hotter she was, the more I would care, the more insecure I would get, the more shy, right? So you need to put yourself in front of all kinds of women, not just pretty women, not just regular women, not just ugly women, all women, right? So you can just get desensitized to women in general, but make sure you're not avoiding the hot ones, like the beautiful ones, because those are the ones who are really going to trigger that insecurity in you, and you will be able to see, okay, why am I feeling this way, right? And it's something you need to work on, right? You need to work on your self-belief. You need to work on your self-esteem. You need to work on your confidence, right? The way I went about it really is just having goals and going after your goals and being disciplined and handling your shit in life and doing the things you love to do. Like, once you live a life that you love to live, your confidence goes up. You start believing in yourself more. When you overcome challenges, obstacles in your life, instead of running away from them, you become more courageous. You become more confident. A lot of it is really you just stepping up. You just stepping up and taking more responsibility for your life. You start to become more confident. Your energy changes. Your communication changes. You're more expressive. You're more free. You're more daring, challenging, whatever, bold, right? And you become more attractive, right? Because you're more full of life, you're more full of energy. All right. So a lot of it was exposure to women. A lot of it, I would say, reading books, reading the inspirational books about, uh, people who have succeeded in life, reading about their stories, how they overcame different things, reading about different ways to improve yourself as a man, self-improvement books. If you're into business, buying business books, studying successful people, uh, understanding female psychology, like doing your research, finding out what what women respond to, what is attractive to women, because you may have your assumptions or your ideas based on how you were raised or whatever you learned watching TV or whatever, but a lot of those beliefs are actually incorrect, right? Like you may think certain things about women are true and it's not true. You need to go into your research and find out what's true, then go and continue to talk to women and have these experiences, and you will see for yourself what women respond to, or what is attractive to women, what doesn't work, what is not attractive to women. You start learning these things. The more competent you become, the more knowledge you gain, the more understanding you gain, the more references and experiences you have, the more confident you become. Right? So basically you just make up your mind. Like, I want to become self-confident with women, and then you start taking those necessary actions. You start spending more time with women, like knowing that you're doing this because you have a goal in mind, right? You're not just doing it randomly or whatever. So then when you experience fear, shyness, insecurity, you're able to push through it because there's like a goal there. There's a reason why you're doing what you're doing. You have a why, right? So you start having these experiences with women. You start studying more, putting your time into that stuff. Get around guys that are good with women, right? If you have friends or people that you can hang around that are successful with women and having, getting the similar results that you would like to get, they get around these people. You start feeling the vibes. You start seeing how they communicate to women, how they handle themselves. Their confidence starts to rub off on you, and you start to feel better. You start to come up, right? So that's a lot of what I did to develop my confidence in regards to interacting and dealing with women. You're gonna have some failures and some successes on the journey, and those things are gonna also help build your confidence. The failures help build your confidence because it makes you more tough skins, makes you tougher. You have tougher skin, more resilient, more persistent, right? And then the successes, it basically makes you more, more courageous, more bold, more willing to take risks, more willing to push yourself, because you done seen like, okay, the greater I become, the better I become, the more results I get, right? So now you're more motivated to keep taking action, to keep doing the necessary things to increase your confidence, right? And you just keep repeating these things, you start getting, women start showing more interest, you start getting more phone numbers, you start going on dates more, women start, seeing you romantically and sexually, and you start taking it to that level more consistently. And all these things add up. Doing all these things, having all these experiences, studying, getting around people who are good with women, all these things combined, basically immersing yourself in this world, is what starts to bring up your confidence, right? So if you combine all these things and do it on a consistent basis, that's how you become self-confident with women, right? All right, so that is the video. If you are a man who is looking to become more self-confident with women and you would like some guidance, right? You rather just, hey, you know what, man, what do I need to do to get my confidence with women like at a high level, as opposed to you like trying to figure it out and reading this and going over here and doing that and doing that. If you want to know exactly what you need to do, go ahead, send me a private message. Let's have a conversation, and let's see what you need to do to start hitting your goals in your daily life. Thanks for watching. Peace.